I had never sat in the front of a car when an adult was sitting in the back. It made me nervous. I could only imagine what the nuns would have said had they seen us go by. When we got to the hospital, my father made arrangements with a woman at the desk, and then we left from there, driving back to our own house in the dark without saying a single word about what had happened. Why would he have done that? Maeve had asked me that night after dinner when we were in her bedroom. My father never took Maeve to collect the rent, even though she was 7 years older than me, and had won the math prize in school every year, and would have been so much better with a ledger, it was ridiculous. On the first Saturday of every month after we'd been excused from the table and our father had gone to the library with his drink and the paper, Maeve would pull me into her bedroom and close the door. She wanted a recounting of the entire day, blow by blow, what had happened at every apartment, what the tenants had said, and what our father had said to them in return. She even wanted to know what we bought for lunch at Carter's Market, where we always stopped for sandwiches. The kid was really sick, that's all. He didn't open his eyes once, not even when Dad put him in the car. When we got to the hospital, my father had told me to go to the men's room and wash my hands, to get the water hot and use soap, even though I hadn't touched the boy. Maeve mulled this over. What? I asked. Well, think about it. He hates sick people. Has he ever so much as crossed the door of your room when you were sick? She stretched out on the bed beside me, fluffing the pillow under her head. If you're going to put your feet on my bed, then the least you can do is take off your filthy shoes. I kicked off my shoes. Did he sit on the edge of my bed and put his hand on my forehead? Did he bring me a ginger ale? Ask me if I felt like I was going to throw up again? That's what Maeve did. That's what Sandy and Jocelyn did when Maeve was at school. He never comes in my room. But why would he have done all that if the boy's father was there? I almost never got to an answer before Maeve did, but in this case, it was perfectly obvious. Because the mother wasn't there. If there had been a woman in the apartment, he never would have put himself in the middle of things. Mothers were the measure of safety, which meant that I was safer than Maeve. After our mother left, Maeve took up the job on my behalf, but no one did the same for her. Of course, Sandy and Jocelyn mothered us. They made sure we were washed and fed and that our lunches were packed and our scouting dues paid. They loved us, I know they did. But they went home at the end of the day. There was no crawling into bed with Sandy or Jocelyn when I had a bad dream in the middle of the night. It never once occurred to me to knock on my father's door. I went to Maeve. She taught me the proper way to hold a fork. She attended my basketball games and knew all my friends and oversaw my homework and kissed me every morning before we went our separate ways to school and again at night before I went to bed, regardless of whether or not I wanted to be kissed.